I recently made a post asking Ed Priola, Republican nominee for Alamance County Commissioner, to clarify some questions surrounding allegations that he physically abused his ex-wife. In the video, I asked Ed to help voters understand how it is possible that he was aware about 3 other legal cases involving him and his ex-wife jointly, namely a divorce, a foreclosure, and a tax lien, but was unaware about the case involving allegations that he had been physically abusive. In his reply to my video, Ed defended himself by claiming that he had no knowledge of the domestic violence allegations because he was never notified that his wife had sought protection from him in court. I want to take a moment to remind the folks watching at home that the filings in question include allegations that Mr. Priola bruised his wife's ribs and broke her nose 3 times. To support his claim that he was never notified that his then-wife, fearing for her safety, had sought a protective order against him, Priola claims that the address listed in the court documents belonged to his ex-wife and not him, ensuring that he wouldn't be notified by mail. He also claims that his wife requested money, a car, and possession of the house in the same filing, which, by the way, that's irrelevant, but okay, as well as the fact that his wife did not appear at the subsequent hearing, which led to the case being vacated. I do not want to be accused of strawmanning Mr. Priola's defense in this very serious matter, so let's assume that all 3 of those points are correct. That it's not his address listed in the filing, that his wife is asking for money, a car, and a house, and that his wife did not show up at the court hearing, and that is why the case was vacated. Let's assume all of that is true. There are still 2 major issues with Mr. Priola's reply. And since Ed watched the first video, I think it's safe to assume he's watching this video, so I will address the following to him personally. First, and most importantly, I want to point out that in your reply to my video, you do not deny physically abusing your wife. You simply deny ever being served notice that your wife filed a protective order in court seeking protection from you. This strikes me as noteworthy. Second, and I'm hoping, and I think a lot of voters are hoping that you'll answer this, are you really trying to convince folks that in the span of almost a decade, while you and your ex-wife were jointly involved in 3 separate legal actions, starting with a divorce that was filed a month after your ex-wife went to authorities with allegations of domestic violence, not once in all this time did you ever become aware that your ex-wife had petitioned the court for protection? Through every step of these legal proceedings involving both of you, the divorce, the foreclosure, the tax lien, through every phone call with attorneys, through every meeting with attorneys, through every court hearing while filling out paperwork, through all of this, you're expecting us to believe that you were completely in the dark about your ex-wife's protective order request. Now, Ed, you and I both know that I'm not a lawyer and I haven't even played one on TV. But when you make the claim that this is the first time in 27 years that you have been made aware that your ex-wife petitioned a court for a protective order against you, when you make the claim that this is the first time in 27 years that you've been made aware about these allegations, given what we know factually about the intertwined legal history that you have with this individual, for you to make the claim that this is the first time you're hearing any of this, you are stretching credibility like a cheap pair of boots. The Hometown Holler genuinely appreciates you taking the time to respond to our initial question. We know this is the home stretch of a very busy, very hectic election season, and candidates like yourself don't have a lot of time on their hands. So we're grateful. We hope that you will similarly take time to reply to the questions contained in this video, and that your replies will hopefully be more persuasive.